Do-it-yourselfer, you get a lot of free advice. But you fix your car in spite of it. We'd like to advise you where to get the parts.
And crosses the 40-yard line and gets out to the 42. So lightning click Willard Harrell takes the opening kickoff back and gives the Cardinals very good field position to start the game. The St. Louis Cardinals on offense. That is the revamped interior line. As Braheni's at center and Banks moves to guard, there's the pass catcher. Easton Remsen, the regular tight end, is out. He's not well today. And there's the backfield. Morris and Otis start as the setbacks behind Steve Pazarkowitz, young man from LeCoeur High School in St. Louis. First back through is Jim Otis, who started for the first time last week against Dallas. The Cardinal fans will recall, and rushed for 88 yards. There's the Jet defense. They play the 3-4. Pillars, Salam, and Klecko. The up front men, they're tough. This is the best part of their defense, the linebackers, Buttle, Hennessy, Hennigan, and Martin. Secondary's been suspect, but improving. The deep backs are good, Suggs and Owens. And a lot of times they'll play with 6 defensive backs against a long pass. Long yardage plays. On 2nd and 6, the Cardinals run the ball, and Wayne Morris takes it across midfield and down very close to a first down. Nick?
Yeah, does it ever fail, Sonny, when they come into a ball game, they're supposed to be reeled down, having all kinds of problems with the offensive line, and all they're doing right now is blowing the Jets off the ball.
Coming straight at him, and you saw that, just a direct handoff. Tell you, you can look for Steve Pazarkowitz to get a lot of help today from his football team, because they want to pick up the slack, overcome this adversity they've had.
On first down, the Cardinals run the ball right up the gut again. Driving it inside the Jet 40-yard line is Jim Otis. He was knocked down on the play by the secondary of the Jets, as again the Cardinals rip it right up.
Yeah, talking to Pete Elliott, the assistant backfield coach for the Cardinals, he said that Jim Otis has to carry it about 20 to 25 times today, Sonny, if they're going to establish a running game. Otis has a sore ankle, but didn't look that bad there.
It certainly did not. Second down and 2 to go for the first down for the Cardinals. Otis on a reverse. Here comes Pat Tilley. He's got room to run. He's inside the 30, and he's got a foot race ahead of him. Inside the 10, a driving tackle from Buttle from behind knocks Pat Tilley another 5 yards down, and he's inside the 10, and a Jet is down on the play.
Oh, what a good play call that was, to come back with a reverse right off the bat against a 34 defense. Nick, the strength of this defense is pursuit, and running back against it after they let him pursue a little bit, he finds a lot of good blocking over there. Ortman out in front of him. You see Gray down doing a little block down here at the end of the thing. He's
Gray's
chicken fighting a little bit, and they pick up a big first down, a big play for the Cardinals.
You know, as a middle linebacker, never would have guessed that they would have come in a reverse on a second down and 2, so it has to be a super call by Wilkinson from the sideline. And just a point that he will be calling all the plays because Pisarkowitz hasn't had any playing time for the Cardinals, none at all. Really threw one pass last week, and what happened? Interception.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Jets and the National Football League is prohibited. The Cardinals, as you see, second best in their last 11 games. But right now they are driving, and Otis goes in for a touchdown. Jim Otis right up the middle, and that revamped offensive line, Nick Sonny, is just blasting the Jets wide open.
Well, you know, they never said that the offensive line of the Cardinals wasn't a good offensive line. All they said it was kind of injury prone. But here you see a great hole. Look at that block by Deerdorf, just wiped out the linebacker. Super run by Otis with a bad ankle.
Steve also got a good block that time. Terry Steve made a good.
Here is Jim Bakken trying to point after with Worley holding. It is up and good. And so the Cardinals, an underdog coming in, jump out to early lead 7-0. As if they've looked any more impressive on any drive this season than they did in the last one, it must have been a spectacular one because they were an impressive football team to open this game.
What was that, 8 yards? 8 yards, Don?
It must have been about that, 7 or 8.
You almost want to move in a little bit? Can you see these things?
I'm fine.
Can you see
Sit
that?
back in the shade. I like it.
Yeah, but can you see the monitor? Make a comment. This Pisarkowitz, this is where he can hand the football off.
That's how the Cardinals did it. 60 yards in 5 plays. Didn't take long. And now Little kicks off. Back deep is Bruce Harper at the goal line for the Jets. He's got some room to get across the 20. Puts his head down. A hard hit put on by the St. Louis Cardinals. Coming down to make the hit play for St. Louis was Lee Nelson. And the Jets go on offense 1st and 10. And here's how they break down. There's the interior line. Chris Ward, the left tackle, excellent player. Roman starts at the right tackle for one of their better linemen. Marvin Powell, who's out. Rasmussen, who played on the Super Bowl winning team here, at the guard. Pass catchers are dangerous. Deep speed in Walker and the tight end Barkham, and Derek Gaffney, one of the wide receivers, is very elusive. He gets open. They go right to the run. They go right to their money back. Kevin Long, and he gets ahead for 5 yards. Gets it out close to the 29. There's a kid that's got over 500 yards for the season. Eric Williams and Doug Green were on the stop. The Cardinals playing the 3 down linemen, Bob Pollard, Mike Dawson, and John Zook. The linebackers for St. Louis, Steve Niels, Eric Williams, and Kurt Allerman, who've been playing very well. They got their first start last week against Dallas. Mark Arneson on the outside. Allen and Worley the corners. Ken Green and Ken Stone the deep backs for St. Louis. 2nd and 5 Jets. Cardinals lead 7-0. Jets come right back to a power back out of Purdue. Scott Durking, and he drives out to the 37 for a first down.
Whatever happened to the forward pass? The Cardinals take the ball and drive the length of the field without putting it up. And this might be the best running team. They've averaged over 200 yards the last 2 weeks. And the Cardinals have had trouble with the run. They're giving up 192 yards a game.
Well, the Jets had trouble containing the run the first time St. Louis has the ball. Now the Jets go right back, and Durking runs straight ahead, and a good knockdown by Dawson, the middle guard.
Carried by number 25.
Mike Dawson comes across.
You were talking to Walt Michaels before the game, Sonny. I like the question you asked him. You said, you think they're in for a letdown, your team. What did he say to you?
He said they better not be. I'm going to kick a lot of fannies.
Jets haven't been favored very often. In fact, the one game they were was against Seattle here at Shea, and they lost. Got a lot of upsets to their credit, though. Robinson looks deep. Over the middle. The ball is tipped away. Nicely done. Eric Williams, linebacker out of Southern California, who held Tony Dorsett to 24 yards. The Cardinal defense did, but Williams was keying on him on every play. He tipped the ball. It was intended for Gaffney.
He was a little late throwing that football then. He's trying to get it to Gaffney, but he took a long time in picking him out. He wanted to go long to Walker, and that hurt him.
I thought Walker was open. I think he just read the wrong receiver. It looked like he was deep.
They say Walker doesn't even put on a head fake sometimes. He just takes off like an Olympic sprinter and runs.
4.3 speed.
Consistently 4.3. 3rd and 8. Robinson sets up, and the Cardinals put the heat on him. He eludes it. He doesn't get there. The Cardinals knock him down. Eric Williams comes back from pass coverage to fill and make the hit. Jets will punt.
This is something, a strange position for Matt Robinson, being behind. They've usually taken the opening kickoff, driven down, dominated the game from the beginning with their running, and now he's having to scramble a little bit. And he kind of had the ball a little loose there, didn't he, Nick? You look for that as a linebacker?
Yeah, Eric Williams, the linebacker, is the first time he's played, Sonny. He's been hurt all year. I love to see that ball out there where you can really knock it loose and get your team a break.
Willard Harrell is the return man back deep for the Cardinals as Chuck Ramsey punts for the Jets, hits it line drive. And Harrell will return this one from the 17, 20, 25, 30, 40. Boy, he's been murdered today. Willard Harrell, who has one speed, flat out, takes it back to the 45-yard line of the Jets, and just as he did on the opening kickoff, he gives the Cardinals good field position to go on offense. So the St. Louis Cardinals, winless this season but leading 7-0, have good field position at the Jet 45 to go on offense. 1st and 10 when we return. It's good. It's okay. It's okay, Chuck.
I tell you something. What that will do for that kid's confidence to be up 7-0. He's got to make it.
Well, all he has to do is hand the football off.
Yeah.
No, we got to talk. We really should talk about our conversation on the field with Michaels, and also the fact that we were talking about. We were talking to Richard Todd. Told Todd all it would take is if a guy intercepts a pass or gets a good run back, but gets him a good field position. Hell, they can hope to turn around.
Well, we mentioned that they were going to take up a lot of slack, and that's what Bud Wilkinson told me. He said, "You test the character of the football team under conditions like this, overcoming the adversity."
Boy, they look awfully sharp, don't they, off the snap?
Yeah.
Buffalo. We can talk about the Buffalo game too.
It's like the Miami Dolphins. Nick.
I'll tell you, Stoney, I don't want to say I told you so, but I down the field, I said all it takes is a run back, give them good field position. This could be a ball game.
And I think we're going to have a long ball game because they're going to do some running and pounding at each other.
1st and 10 Cardinals. Wayne Morris turns to the outside. The Jets have that good wide pursuit, and Wayne Morris ducks out of bounds. Little or no gain on the play. Hennessy, who's a roving linebacker, 63, ran him out.
Is that the strength, Nick, of the 34 playing the wide run because of the lateral pursuit you can get?
Well, depending on your inside linebacker, Sonny, because some of those inside linebackers, take Sam Hunt from New England, he lines up like 1 yard off the guard, and it's almost like a 7-man line, so it's tough to run inside or outside because they have good lateral pursuit, yet they can jam up the middle. I think it's a great against the run.
Sam Hunt plays at 270, they say, Nick. 270-pound linebacker. Pazarkowitz hands off on a draw. That's a good long yardage play. And Wayne Morris, sacrificing his body for love of the game, crashes in for a gain of about 8 yards.
Pretty good fake on this. He looks like he's going to throw the football, which is what you're supposed to do on the draw, but look at him. Good execution on this play, handing it off to Morris, and he finds a little. They were expecting the pass.
Well, they sure were. Keith Worthman, really a good block up there. I tell you, the Jets have to get off the ball. They're not making any penetration across the line.
3rd down and about 2 for the Cardinals. First quarter, the Cardinals lead 7-0. Wayne Morris, he hit down to the 35. He had to get to the 35, and it's probably going to call for a measurement. Darquist doesn't think he got there.
Now the official is raising his fist up, so that means it's 4th down. They're not even going to measure that. So it's the first big decision that Wilkinson has to make. You know, he does have the momentum, and as we know, it doesn't come too often. When you have it, you better go after it. So they're going to go for the 1st down. They're not even going to attempt a field goal.
Ricky Bell just ran the ball in for Tampa Bay. They lead Chicago 6-0. 4th and less than a yard. Otis is the fullback, a line behind Pizarkowicz.
Bet it goes to Otis.
You got it. He got there. Looks like he got there on the 2nd try.
You're right. 2nd try, the 2nd effort by Otis. Gave it to the horse, and he kind of plugged his way in there. Looks like he picked up the 1st down.
Well, that was a big play for both teams because this could really generate some excitement with the Jets if they held them. And the Cardinals, if they continue to make 1st downs. Let's see.
I don't know. It looked like they moved the ball back.
I don't know. They better measure. I know if I was out there, I'd insist on a measurement. I know what they've done, Sonny. They turned the ball.
Oh, yes,
look where the ball
did.
is. They turned the ball sideways.
They looked like they really moved it back about a yard.
That's unbelievable.
Jets take it over. Cardinals didn't get there.
How do you put a ball sideways?
You're not supposed to turn the ball in a situation like that, but what a crucial play that is. They can control the game because it's just the way you mark the ball has all together, whether it's a 1st down or 1st down the other way.
Who stopped the drive? The officials or the Jets?
What a marking, huh?
It's weird.
He marked the ball. He looked like he went across the line.
He definitely hit inside the 35.
Since when do you do this?
I thought he went across the line.
All of a sudden, now they're going to get technical and they're going to put it just the way the guy fell.
You've never seen that done before?
They make a measurement, 4,000 of them a year, and the ball is placed like that.
If you're on the side of the field, what do? They throw it back to the middle line and put it down.
That's right. Absolutely unbelievable.
That's a big break for the Jets.
It's going okay.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. What happened to my?
With Sonny Jurgensen and Nick Bonaconte, this is Don Criqui back at Shea Stadium in New York. 1st quarter of play. Jets have just held on 4th and 1. They have the ball, but they trail St. Louis 7-0. Matt Robinson hands off to Kevin Long. And Long, accelerating nicely, gets close to 10 yards. He got the ball out across the Jet 46, knocked down by free safety Ken Stone of the Cardinals.
No, you don't teach a back that. I don't care what they say, Sonny. You don't teach a back how to find a hole and accelerate through it. They can take a guy in training camp and work with him for months at a time, but unless you have that instinct, you can't play that way.
Something that impresses me about watching the Jets here in the opening minutes of this 1st quarter is that they remind me of the old Cleveland Browns. They stay on their feet as an offensive line, they run through their blocks, and they allow that back to cut one way or the other.
Didn't Walt Michaels play with Cleveland a little?
Yes, he did.
10 years.
It's the first time I've spoken to him, too. He used to kill me.
You love linebackers, don't you?
Oh, I mean, like sitting next to you.
1st and 10 now for the Jets. Here's the pitch back to Long. Good back block by Durking as Long gets a hit for 4 yards. Kevin Long was a 7th-round draft choice 2 years ago out of South Carolina. Ran out of that Houston Veer down there. Had to do some adjustment to make it as a pro running back. He's a 212-pounder. Doesn't have the great speed, but is very, very good at picking his holes and making the quick shift of feet, changing direction. He's got over 500 yards, and more importantly, is averaging over 5 yards a rush.
Boy, that's a mouthful, Don.
He has. He's been a big number for the Jets. 2nd down and 6 now for the Jets. Robinson fires up the middle, and Wesley Walker, the game breaker from California, takes it down to the 26-yard line. He's been the killer, averaging 25 yards a catch.
Same pass they threw earlier, this time to Walker, but look how quickly he sets up and delivers this ball. No hesitation, threw it in rhythm, found Walker open.
Now, Wesley Walker's incredible. How do you average 26.9 yards per catch? Now, that is absolutely sensational.
And both their wide receivers are averaging over 20. Gaffney's got over 20. So the Jets start to challenge now. They trail the Cardinals 7-0. Scott Durking, a power back, works hard and gets ahead for 4 or 5 yards. Kurt Allerman knocked him down. Allerman, one of the 11 Penn State linebackers in the NFL, local product from nearby New Jersey.
Nick, what do you do defensively when you're giving up like 192 yards a game against the rush? As a defensive signal caller, do you try to blitz a little more? Do you try to change things, slant, guess?
Pray more.
Pray more. That's a good answer.
Whatever will work, huh? Durking is hit very hard by Bob Pollard, the left end, number 82.
There has to be a lot of pressure on Bob Pollard. There's Detroit jumping out ahead of the Chargers 7-0 in the first. But Pollard, you know, in that trade from New Orleans when they had Dobler going down there and Harris, and then all of a sudden Pollard's brought in there for the pass rush, and I think he's done that part of it, but the rushing game is what's really killing the Cardinal defense.
Right now, Wesley Walker, the guy who caught that big gainer earlier, is wide to the left.
262.
Robinson takes a look, gets it away, but Jerome Barkin, the tight end, can't hold it. We might have a call, though, on Kurt Allerman, number 50, who was covering the tight end on coverage for the Cardinals.
Boy, does that kill you, Sonny? You make a defensive play like that?
I loved it as a quarterback. Take your hands off my receivers.
I think he had him. I think Allerman did have him. With one arm, I couldn't see, but it looked like it was wrapped around his waist. Let's hear it.
Pass interference, 50. Defense, first down.
See if we can pick it up here. Robinson hangs in there. You're looking at it from the end zone. See if you pick it up right at the bottom of your screen here. You see number 50. He's got his hands on him. I'll tell you something.
No.
Oh, I saw a little push off.
Sure was.
Well, the Jets got the penalty. They're 1st and 10 now, just outside the 10-yard line. End zone throw. Wesley Walker, too much on it. Robinson, the Jet quarterback, played collegiately at Georgia. He was on the bench most of the time because they ran the ball down there, and he came in only on passing situations. Came in as kind of an unknown commodity, other than they knew he had a strong arm. But it was almost beneficial to the Jets. They found they had 2 quarterbacks they can win with. When Richard Tye went down, Robinson has picked up beautifully.
His arm was a little too strong then because he had Walker open.
If anybody's gotten the break so far, it sure has been the Jets on the officials' calls.
It'll be 2nd and 10 now from the 12-yard line. Here comes the run, and Scott Durking carries the football. Doesn't get much. Cardinals run him out of bounds. Steve Niels, an outside linebacker, number 53, and Bob Pollard, number 82, combined on a hit, and that Dawson's been in a lot of plays. Middle guard. Giants moving quickly across the river.
I beg your pardon, what is that?
Very little respect being shown here, starting to those Redskins. Pizarchik threw 43 yards to Jimmy Robinson, and the underdog Giants take a lead over a club they've beaten the last 3 times they've played.
That was their game plan, to make him throw.
But unsuccessfully.
Yeah.
3rd and 8. Here's Robinson looking into the end zone. Up the middle. The ball is caught. It is not good for a touchdown nor for a first down, but it'll be close to the first down, about maybe a yard away.
Well, I think they'll go for the field goal this early in the game. They really have no choice.
Running back Bruce Harper caught the ball, and you're right. Here comes Pat Leahy.
All you have to do is go back to the Notre Dame game against Missouri, where they didn't go 6 times, had an opportunity to kick a field goal. They lost 3-0.
And the Jets have an excellent field goal kicker in Pat Leahy, a young man out of St. Louis University. From Augustinian High School in St. Louis, he has hit 12 of 14 field goals for the Jets, and the 2 he's missed have been outside the 50. Played on 3 NCAA soccer championship teams at St. Louis for the Billikens, and now he hits the field goal, and the Jets are on the board with their first 3 points. It is now a 7-3 game. The St. Louis Cardinals in the lead, and again the Jets will be kicking off to a man who's been most impressive for St. Louis, Willard Harrell. Boy, Danielson threw for another one. Detroit. Oh no, Fouts.
To Lydell Mitchell on a weak back short option. Beat the inside linebacker all the way to the goal line. And we have a 7-7 game. Detroit, San Diego.
Please don't say that.
Yeah, 7-7.
Hello, this is Mike Lucci along with Ted Lindsay and the Detroit Red Wings off to a great start in the National Hockey League. Marvin Muse producing.
He now leads with 58 points.
Yes, he does.
Pat Leahy has just put up 58 points for the season. He is the leading scorer in the NFL. It's a 7-3 game. St. Louis leads. Here is the kickoff. This time Jim Childs takes the ball downfield, crosses the 20-yard line. A rookie out of Cal Poly gets it out to the 26, and the Cardinals go on offense. And here comes Pizarkowicz in the offense out. Blake Whitlatch was the tackler for the Jets.
Make that 7 apiece. Fouts to Lydell Mitchell, 55-yard touchdown pass. That has to be the weak back short option where the back comes out of the backfield, right? Beats the linebacker. Would you
He
say
does it
so?
as well
I'll
as
buy
anyone.
that. I'll accept that.
What does that mean?
So,
Sonny doesn't know.
sound like you got beat on one of those, Nick. You remember that?
More than once.
Pizarczyk, home run ball. Neil Gray. He has it. Oh, he lost the football. Pizarczyk just put the ball on the money as well as anybody's ever gone to that distance.
I'm going to tell you something. He makes a perfect throw here. And I will have to say that I think Mel Gray is looking into the sun. He's looking right back into the sun. And after the play, he takes a look back upstairs at it. But he should have had the football.
Another factor is, Sonny, that ball comes down weighing about 15 pounds from that high up. But he was looking into the sun. That's absolutely correct, and it's probably the factor that resulted in his dropping the ball. 2nd and 10. Chandler, the tight end, switches over strong to the left. Pizarkowicz goes to the draw to Wayne Morris. It worked before, and Wayne Morris breaks ahead, is upended as he crosses the 35. He's going to be about a yard short of a first down. He's played good football here.
Well, that offensive line, again, it's a draw play, and they're just out-rooting everybody. There's Steve making a block. Nice cutback by Morris. You know, one thing he does do, he does go north and south pretty well, which is important.
I tell you, I've seen him play a lot of times. I've never seen a back except maybe Haskell Standback that takes as much punishment as he does.
Well, his legs are kicking, his arms are flailing. They're close to a first.
Jess Phillips from Michigan State was the, oh my God, he used to run straight up into a brick wall. Here comes Jim Otis ahead for a first down for the Cardinals out to the 42-yard line. So St. Louis gets the second down draw play to get close to a first down. Then Otis subsequently takes it ahead for the first down.
You know what I like, Sonny? At least we know that Pizarkowicz isn't going to hand the ball off all afternoon. He can't put the ball in the air. Talking to Jim Hart, Hart says he can throw the football, but the problem is his inexperience. He can't read the defenses.
Difficult situation for him to come into the, must type of win.
Pizarkowicz a lot like Hart. He doesn't have a lot of mobility, the very strong arm, as Otis carries for 5 of penalty markers thrown in.
Guess what we're going to have here?
What happens when they throw the flag at a lineman?
On the lineman?
And it hits him in the back.
The ultimate insult. A hold is signaled against the Cardinals.
Well, you can actually another break for the Jets because the Cardinals are moving the football on the ground, but here a holding penalty. So now you have a situation where they don't want Pizarkowicz to throw the ball that much. So you're looking at a draw or a screen, I think, right now, Sonny.
Holding 51. Offense, first down.
Tom Brahaney, the center, is called for the hold.
Let's see, that's Chandler making a block on Buttle. I don't know, it looked like a good shove to me.
You're not allowed to on running plays.
1st and 20 for the Cardinals. Ball at their 32.
Whoa.
There was a major league hit by Larry Pillars, number 76, the left end.
He just defeated the block, Don. He just came inside of the block of Roman. Got the handoff. Strange calls. 1st and very long.
Not today, it's not.
A handoff.
Now I look for the screen pass. The 2nd down and long. Let's see.
You know, the Cardinals came into the game as the 3rd-ranked pass team in the NFC, even though they lost all 7 previous games. So the pass has been most of their offense. They got to go to the run with the inexperienced quarterback, and this time they're reading Wayne Morris all the way. Joe Klecko, the right tackle, knocks him down.
The success of the draw is only determined by how you throw the football. You just can't continue to run a draw play unless you're going back and throwing the football some, because just like you said, Don, they're starting to look for it.
That's Jurgis theorem.
3rd and 18. Jurgis' theorem on that is drop back, crank up the rag arm, and give it all you got.
There you go.
Zarkowitz against a 3-man rush, has time, puts it up. Burgess Owens, the free safety, intercepts. Mel Gray doesn't have him down, he loses him. And finally, Burgess Owens is knocked down by the tight end Al Chandler at the Jet 35-yard line.
Well, this really wasn't one of Zarkowitz's better passes. Gray comes over and makes a cutback here. He's just underthrown all the way. Burgess Owens is playing center field as the free safety, so he's just sitting back there as you see it. Gray doesn't make the tackle, but they don't pay Gray to tackle.
I don't think it's such a bad throw. It's just like a punt.
Well, the idea may not so bad. The throw wasn't so good.
It did result almost in what a long punt would have been. The ball's at the 35. The handoff straight ahead to Scott Durkin. He's ahead for 3, running right at the Cardinals. There was some question as to whether or not he'd play, had an ankle sprain. Mike Dawson, the nose tackle, middle guard, knocked him down.
The ultimate insult, though, is when your own man in practice knocks you down and hurts you, and you can't play on Sunday. That's what happened to Durkin. He got hurt in practice this week.
That's right. Thursday he went down. It wasn't in the game.
One of the new men, too.
Robinson has Wesley Walker open. Boy, that's some nice combination. Robinson throws that overhand fastball, and Wesley Walker just darted in front to take it.
Same pattern you see from the end zone here, the same pattern they completed the last drive. Little crossing pattern. Gets it between the linebackers. You see how many white shirts are around. Kitty Stone coming up making a tackle.
Boy, is he fluid.
What do you think of Robinson, Sonny?
Oh, I'm impressed with his ability to throw the football.
1st and 10, Jets. They trail the Cardinals 7-3. 7 seconds to play in the first quarter. Durkin has the ball and promptly puts his nose right down and goes inside the 35-yard line for a gain of 8.
He's got a good motion when he gets back and takes a look around the field. Good motion.
You know, I like Richard Todd's statement. Richard Todd says, I'll be back in 4 weeks if I can get into the lineup.
Right. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. The Cardinals winning the first 15 minutes of play, 7-3, but the Jets driving now as we come back to open the second period. Benny Ricardo, field goal.
10-7.
Detroit Lions.
All right, go Monty Clark.
Come on, what are they doing?
Not taking very good care of you is one.
How many points is,
How we doing, Bill?
how far did that trail in that game?
Is it Tim Kearney or Carney? It's Kearney. isn't it?
Kearney. C-A-R.
I think it is.
It's Kearney.
I like your Walker can play.
Oh, he's so fast, isn't he?
He's so smooth. Love the way he runs those
Linebacker
patterns.
drops are really hurting him because they just run that same pattern.
Oh, yeah,
when they cross.
absolutely. Looks.
You like to get that in, right, Marv? You don't have too many to brag about.
You want to see a grown man cry in the booth?
Sure.
I'll be down in the, I'll be down in the press room.
Huh?
What other ones have you got? So we can keep tabs.
Look at Nick Bonacani gets top billing here.
That's right.
Look,
You know why, don't you? I spent so many years toiling in a toilet bowl.
Denny Ricardo's kicked a field goal. The underdog Lions leading San Diego 10-7 at Pontiac, Michigan. With Nick Bonacani and Sonny Jurgensen, this is Don Criqui back at Shea Stadium in New York. Opening play of the second quarter. Jets trail the Cardinals 7-3. Jets run the ball. Kevin Long, their money back, takes it inside the 30. He has a first down. Pollard hit him.
You know, Nick was talking about earlier about running at football the way he is, Kevin Long. He has great eyes at finding the open spot to run the football.
You know, Clark Gaines, the guy who backed him up, actually started last year for the Jets and was beaten out this year by Long. I asked Walt Michaels, I said, is there anything wrong with Clark Gaines? Now Gaines comes into the lineup, but he says no. He said he just got beat out by Kevin Long. Two good football players.
Yeah, Gaines is a good blocker. They've got some nice backs. None of them really high draft choices, but they've all played sound football. 1st and 10 now for the Jets. 29-yard line of St. Louis. Here comes Clark Gaines, and the Cardinals are looking for him. Tim Carney came across, wrapped him. Dawson was in on the play. Dawson very quick off the center's block, moving out to make the hit.
You know, the difference there is not so much the running of Gaines, it's the blocking of Harper. Harper's the halfback now. When you take Durking out, who from the waist down looks like an offensive guard with his legs are so big, I think you lose something.
He looks like your old teammate Nottingham.
That's right, Nottingham and Charlie Toller with the old Houston Oilers.
2nd and 10. No gain on the last one. Here's Robinson, a blitz against him. He eludes it. Pollard's after him. Pollard's got him. He gets the ball away, and it was up for grabs. Arneson had a play on the ball, very nearly a Cardinal interception.
Here's Pollard. Now, here's the man who was acquired from New Orleans in that trade.
That's
He's going to put
holding,
some pressure on. Well, you can put your hands out there as long as you don't wrap them up. He grabs Robinson around the waist, but Robinson has a lot of poise, Sonny. He really does. He hangs in there. He's looking for his receivers all the time.
After scrambling, he showed me a lot of poise putting that ball back when he knew Pollard was behind him.
I know one thing. That's not the healthiest thing you could do.
Joe Danello's just hit a 31-yard field goal. Giants 10, Washington nothing. 3rd down and 10 now for the Jets. Robinson against a big rush, steps into the pocket, and they're going to get him. Down goes Matt Robinson at the 35-yard line. And down goes a penalty marker, Sonny, inside the 15.
The laundry's out down there. We may have had a pass interference call. Be a big break for,
Yep, that's the
for the
signal.
Jets again.
Boy, does that kill you?
Whew. When it rains, it pours.
Man, when you're trying to get your team together and you're trying to do something defensively, and every break goes against you, it's got to haunt you on the sideline. It really does.
There's the Giant number now, up to 10 in the first quarter.
Fight on, you Redskins. What was that one, Sonny? They're not fighting too hard today.
I'm going to have to teach
Illegal
you the song.
contact, 23. Defense, 1st down.
Well, you called it. Pass interference, Sonny. 1st down.
Well, it gives him automatic 1st down after throwing Robinson for a loss.
Ken Green, a strong safety. All for the interference. It's 1st and 10 Jets. They trail 7-3. Bruce Harper, little free agent running back, runs the ball inside the 20 and down to the 17-yard line. Bruce Harper out of Kutztown State, went to Dwight Morrill High School in nearby Englewood, New Jersey, and his best friend was none other than John Travolta.
So is that true?
That's true.
I love that trivia, don't you? Crickie's Trivia.
The Cards trying to do something defensively here. They're shuffling in people according to the situation. Jankowski's in now, defensive end.
2nd and 3. Running the ball straight ahead inside the 15-yard line where Ken Green makes the stop is Scott Durking. Keith Simons also on the tackle.
Coming back on the field now, Mike Dawson coming back in for Keith Simons. They're shuffling people in and out.
Well, it's a little warm, but by now they should be in condition, I would think.
I don't think that's a reason. I think they're doing it more for the situation, pass or run.
Mike Dawson started the season off very slow at nose tackle, Sonny. As a matter of fact, they were having problems. People were running up the middle. But then in the first Dallas game, he just became a stalwart, and since that time, he's been real tough against the run.
From what I understand about playing the nose guard position, it's a difficult position to coach. You have to have instincts to play it.
Well, great analysis of a nose guard is just look at a pinball machine. And you see the ball coming back, and it keeps bumping off one thing and going to another one. That's what the nose tackle is like. He's getting blocked down by guards. He's getting blocked straight ahead by the center. The backs are knocking him around. It's not a healthy place to be.
Well, Dawson's got to do a big job now as the Jets start to mount a challenge for what could be a go-ahead touchdown. 1st and 10. Robinson to Scott Durking. Jets run into the left side of the Cardinal defense for a gain of close to 4 yards. The ball down near the 10-yard line. Steve Niels, outside linebacker, on the stop.
So do you notice the backs, the Jet backs especially, what they're doing? They're not outrunning their blockers. They stay behind the blockers. They set the block up for the offensive guards and tackles, and then they move behind it. They're in no hurry to get to the hole.
That's why they've been rushing for 162 yards a game.
Doing something right.
2nd down and 6 now for the Jets. 10-yard line of the Cardinals. Kevin Long is hit hard by Eric Williams as he gets down to the 8-yard line. Bob Pollard was also on the stop for St. Louis. Cardinals playing tough when the yards get short. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 5.
Well, the Cardinal coaches love Eric Williams. He's been injured most of the season, but his coming back has to help that linebacking core.
Williams was a sound player at Southern California. Hurt part of the time. Been hurt part of the time this year, but last week he came back strong against the Dallas Cowboys. 3rd and 5. Robinson looks into the end zone, rushes on. He throws on the run. And the tight end, Jerome Barkham, takes the ball in at the 2-yard line for a 1st down. Steve Niels was covering.
What a great catch he makes and stays in bounds in doing so. It's really kind of an ad-lib play. He doesn't have anybody to throw to. See him running out of the pocket. Look at him. Just touches down and keeps in bounds.
Barkham came in as a wide receiver out of Jackson State, as you remember, Nick, playing against him. Then they moved him to tight end. He's still one of the fastest players in the Jet team.
I'm glad I wasn't that linebacker, and I'm glad I didn't have to have that coverage against him.
So the Jets, trailing 7-3, have the ball point blank now. 1st and goal from the 2. Durking, touchdown Jets. And the Jets take the lead 9-7. Nick?
Boy, you talk about blocking by an offensive line. Son, you could have ran that one in yourself.
I doubt that, but the thing gets plagued the Cardinals throughout the year, and that's being able to stop the run. You really like to see your defensive teams fight a little bit down there, and they got in a little easy that time.
Well, that was Scott Durking's first rushing touchdown for the Jets, so that's got to be a big one for him. Did you see Rasmussen, 66, the guard, the old warhorse who they were looking to cut before in training camp, made the key block on that play.
And he's got to feel a little old, 12-year veteran, and everybody's average. They average less than 2 years experience.
1.7, that's right, 1.7 a man. But right now they've come back to take the lead from St. Louis, 10-7. We've got a long way to go. 10:57 to go in the 1st half.
Goddamn officials calls, though. Goddamn officials.
Look in my pocket there.
It's going all right, sir?
Inside pocket cigar.
Very well.
In this day and age, with all this automation, it's just great to have 3 guys up here together chatting about something that's so important to America.
Hey, I think it's fun.
Do the games. The Jets have rallied back. A sustained drive. You see 65 yards, 12 plays. Durking on the payoff end. They now lead the Cardinals 10-7. Line drive kickoff by Leahy. Skips downfield. It's picked up by Childs. And he is waffled at about the 19-yard line.
Willard Harrell was directing traffic on that one. I think he should have been throwing a block.
Lots of action next Sunday as we make the turn into the second half of the season. The ninth week of play. The Cardinals go against the Eagles at Philadelphia. San Francisco's at Washington. Detroit at Chicago. The Giants go against New Orleans, and Tampa Bay plays Green Bay. Consult your local listings for the game and time in your area. All the action, as you know, begins with the NFL Today with Brent Musburger, Jane Kennedy, and Irv Cross a half hour before kickoff. Wayne Morris working very hard for 3, perhaps 4 yards as he crossed the 20-yard line and was knocked down by Abdul Salam. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 6 now for the St. Louis Cardinals. They took the lead off the opening kickoff. Good return by Harrell. Good drive. They went in for a touchdown, led 7-0. The Jets put up the next 10 points. They lead 10-7. Kazarkowicz hands off. Morris running hard. Gets out across the 30. He's got a first down for the Cardinals.
And got Steve Jones there running
Steve
a football
Jones, right.
from. Don't be talking about my people from Duke.
He's just come in, coming off a wing formation. He comes around.
Steve Jones, what a nice guy he is. Good football player.
They must have been looking at Kansas City's films because it looks like the old wing T that Marv Levy's installed with the Chiefs.
That was working pretty good at the outset of the season. They seem to have caught up with it, though, the defenses.
I'll say. They haven't won in 5 weeks.
1st and 10. Otis runs hard. Salam, the nose tackle, knocked him down. Gain of 2, maybe 3 out to the 33.
Look, Nick, no one's perfect.
That's right. We all learning. That's all we're doing. Everybody learns. A new experience every week, Sonny.
There's a guy that's having a new experience this week. Steve Kazarkowicz.
Or just think of the thrill it is for him to come in and being nervous about the game and everything.
Sweaty palms, upset stomach.
Some before the
So
game,
much
he didn't
fun.
look. He looked very confident. He looks more like a linebacker than a quarterback. He's a big, strong kid. Kazarkowicz dropping to throw. Penalty markers down. He swings it out.
I can tell you what this penalty is going to be.
Wayne Morris got the first down if the play goes.
Oh, come on, let me guess.
You guess.
Illegal procedure.
Right. Al Chandler was going toward the line of scrimmage in motion.
Now that's a problem, Sonny, because he's only been in camp with the Cardinals for about 2 weeks. He was picked up from the New England Patriots when they let him go. So he's just really learning what the system's all about. And that's what Jim Hart told us. He was having a problem adapting.
He started toward the line of scrimmage. Let's see if it was number 87.
Illegal motion.
That's it.
87. Offense.
Tight end.
2nd down.
Al
Now
Chandler.
I know why you were a quarterback.
You
So
can see,
smart.
watch him. He's not allowed to go toward the line of scrimmage. He can go parallel or away, but not toward the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what you picked up there in the replay. Look at the picture there.
2nd down and 13 for the Cardinals. Otis working hard. Got back the penalty yardage, or part of it, and then took a hard shot from Salam, a 265-pounder out of Kent State.
Terry Steve wheeled up through the hole on that one, Sonny, but there's only one problem. He forgot to look to the inside. That's where the pursuit was coming from.
You know, Don, you're talking to Bud Wilkinson down on the field before the game, and he said, you know, you're 0-7, but this particular game is a test of the character of your football team. When you got a new quarterback playing, and whether or not the rest of the players pick up the slack and overcome the adversity to the injury to Jim Hart.
Well, that's the big question, and Wilkinson says players like Deerdorf and Banks, the veterans who played on so many winning teams in recent years at St. Louis, won't let the other Cardinals get down. He doesn't expect attitude to be a problem. This team still wants to win very much, and we'll be back with the second quarter in a moment.
I'm blowing it away from you.
No, it's not that.
You know, there's people from El Producto last week. They mentioned to me, they said, Mr. Cricky doesn't like your cigars, does he? They said, how come you said El Ropo? I said, you want me to say El Producto he didn't like? I have to come up Thursday to do that thing.
Oh, you're going to do
Are you
it?
doing a
Good.
commercial for them? That's great. They're good people.
It's not a television, it's a Subway magazine thing.
Oh, that's good. That's
Print.
read by a lot of people. Anything to get out of Washington.
The Cardinals, as we go back to live action, come out of the huddle. 3rd down and 11 at their 31. Jets lead 10-7. Second quarter, 8:12 to play in the half. Pizarkowicz drops to throw. They send a 3-man rush at him, and he fires the ball hard. Looks like he might have his guy. He does. Diving reception by Steve Jones for a 1st down. Picked it right off the grass. Those Duke guys are something.
Well, what a great catch. I'm sure he didn't learn how to catch a football at Duke. You see the drop back here. Jones coming out of the backfield, running a crossing pattern. If he hadn't thrown the ball so hard, he could have let him a little bit and just let him keep running with the ball, but he drilled it to him. Made a good catch, picks up the 1st down.
Major adverse development for the Jets. Burgess Owens, their free safety, a Pro Bowl quality player, is out for the rest of the day with a bruised shoulder following that interception. Ken Schroy is in. As the Cardinals go to the run to Wayne Morris, going wide, he's across the 45. So they've got some inexperience in the secondary of the Jets now.
If you saw the beginning of the play, Al Chandler coming in motion to one side, then reversing his field, going back the other way. That was not a mistake on his part. Jim Hart told us about that at the beginning of the game. They're trying to make the defense make an adjustment, then go back the other way.
Trickery in the heart of Bud Wilkinson.
You can't win with gadgets.
But we're going to try.
Whatever works. 2nd and 5. Jets are looking for the run, but still, Jim Otis responds with some yardage, gets to midfield. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 3.
Talk about tough competitors. Number 35, Otis.
Didn't he?
You have to love the guy because he'll go in there and he'll just knock and drive and fight for everything that's out there. He's going to give you more than 100%.
There's something that impressed me being down on the field talking to the Cardinal players. The attitude is good.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to respect each and every one of them for hanging in there. And things are going wrong. Everything's happening against you. Playing the way they're playing and giving it all they got.
They're going to be in this game all the way, I think. They're not going to let up. Here's a blitz. Pizarkowicz, he's strong, gets it away. Bring up 4th and 3. Pizarkowicz goes down, but he was hit hard by Hennessy, that roving linebacker, and still Hennessy could not knock down Steve Pizarkowicz. Hannigan also was on the play. Pizarkowicz unloaded and saved the lost yardage. It would have come on a sack.
Wonder whose heart came of it and his throat down on the bench. How about Mark Mangus, huh?
Oh, my God.
Been with the team since Thursday or something.
Mark's taking a cram course with Jim Hart on the sideline.
Oh, he's a super. Jim Otis. Congratulations, Jim. You and your family, you deserve it. You're a heck of a back.
All-American at Ohio State. Said he wasn't fast enough for the NFL. New Orleans drafted him a ways down. Kansas City got him first. And the Cardinals, pretty much a free agent, rushed for 1,075 yards in 1975. The punt by Little goes into the end zone. There's a player the Cardinals are going to have to get more from. One of their 2 number 1 draft choices. He was the first player taken, Steve Little out of Arkansas. Had a lot of problems against Dallas punting the ball last week. We'll be back in a moment.
It's fun.
Any other scores coming in?
The only ones we're interested in are.
Can I get a Cleveland score?
Could you tell Cleveland to start the game? Sonny's interested.
Kilmer might play today.
Oh, really?
If Joe doesn't do well. He hasn't played well the last 2 weeks. back to what he used to do.
Is that right? He's running his own game now, right? Forgot about everybody else?
Well, he still wants to do it all himself. And they got to keep him in a certain management, not let him do it. They won't even let him call all of them, except on certain occasions.
Mr. Al Mayoni, please report to the press gate. Mr. Al Mayoni to the press gate. Mr. Ted Ruslowski.
Jim Otis goes to the sideline. The Cardinal defense on the field now. St. Louis trailing in the game 10-7. We have 5:57 to play in the first half. Jets on first down fire a wide receiver screen. It's taken in by Wesley Walker and defended against very nicely by the Cardinals' Carl Allen.
Well, what a good play Allen makes, and Don coming up, reading that quick screen to the flanker.
You know, one of the remarkable things about Wesley Walker, the Jet pass catcher, is averaging almost 27 yards a catch this year. He's legally blind in his left eye and still catches the ball.
Maybe that helps him.
I don't know. Maybe you can't hear footsteps. You can't see the guy coming, but he's terrific. Absolutely terrific.
Second and 12. Robinson pitches back. Here's Kevin Long following Chris Ward, and Robinson pitched back to Long, resulting in a gain of about 3 yards. Washington's on the board across the river at Giant Stadium. Mark Mosley, a 41-yard field goal. 10-3 Giants.
Redskin offense, field goals.
That's right. And boy, can he kick them. Oh, he brings rain. Some of those, they go so high on those kicks. Now, Kevin Long last week, 136 yards rushing against the Colts. He's a quality back.
That was his best day ever as a Jet, 136. Robinson takes a look over the middle. Man is open. Derek Gaffney, who played on the other flank from the great Wesley Chandler at the University of Florida last. Gaffney gets wide open and just lets the ball cruise right into his hands.
This is a perfect call. They had a blitz on, and you have a crossing pattern call, and you look at that. Carl Allen trailing Gaffney. Difficult position for Allen to be in. You see Kenny Stone coming up making the hit on Gaffney, but what a good call and a good throw by Matt Robinson.
Worley on the play also. It's 1st and 10 Jets. They lead 10-7, second quarter. Robinson's going to put it right back up. Wesley Walker, first down at the 45-yard line of the Cardinals.
So do you think they're picking on Carl Allen a little bit here? They've gone after him the last 3 times too successfully. Once to Gaffney, now they come back here. Walker makes a beautiful move, and you have to respect him because of his 4.3 speed, so you have to play off him. Carl Allen needs some linebacker help out there, Sonny, to take away that short pass. He can't do it all.
They were in a blitz again, Nick, and it was just an excellent throw and a good concentration on the catch.
Detroit is putting San Diego to rout, 24-7 now. As the Lions having their problems, here is a screen pass. The ball is taken by Clark Gaines and defended against very nicely by Mark Arneson, the veteran outside linebacker, who led the Cardinals in tackles last year, always in on the play.
Boy, does he make a play there, Nick. If he escapes Arneson, he's gone for a long way.
You know, again, that's instinctive. Those screens are, they're set up, of course, to take advantage of the drops of the linebacker and the rush of the defensive end. But Arneson read that one all the way, hung right in there and beat Rasmussen's block.
I think Richard Todd might have said something before, Nick, about if I can get back in the lineup. Robinson looks excellent at quarterback throwing the ball. Here's a pitch back to Durking. Guards in front, and the Cardinals come up hitting. Eric Williams, 55, who really puts his nose in there, and Steve Neal's also on the play. Here's the score from Pontiac, Michigan. Gary Danielson passing very well against the San Diego Chargers, somewhat of an enigmatic team. You never know what they're going to do. They might beat Oakland one week. And
are they playing with 6 men, or are they playing with a full 11?
I don't know. Detroit with Monty Clark, they've had their problems all year long. Best game they played all year was against your Redskins. Got beaten the last minute. A pass to McDaniel.
Now we have a whistle blow, and 2-minute warning is given. 2 minutes left to play in the first half. The Jets holding to a 10-7 lead over the Cardinals. When we return, the Jets will have the ball 3rd down and 8.
Washington 3,
Why don't you bet on Pittsburgh with even with the spread?
A dime.
I like to enjoy the game. You can't enjoy when you bet. You really can't. It's hard to enjoy the game, watching a game to get a bet on it. Especially when it's going. It's hard to watch a game and get a bet on it. I mean, to me, it's hard to watch. Yeah, when you're ahead.
You're right.
That's true.
That's why I don't think they ever ought to legalize gambling. Too much pressure on it.
With Sonny Jurgensen and
A little. Anytime you put that arm back in a slingshot position and a guy's coming in to hit you, you are probably at the most vulnerable point.
a lot of arm injuries with that, shoulder injuries.
You want to see my operations?
You got him on both shoulders, don't you?
I'm full of so many nuts and bolts I can't even get on an airplane.
You set that alarm off. Willard Harrell fair catches the ball and then wisely signals for the fair catch and lets it go in for a touchback. And with very little time remaining in the first half, 45 seconds on the clock, the Cardinals get back the football, and when we return, they'll be going on offense. 1st and 10. They trail 10-7.